We are back live, now into the second hour. Roger Stone's with us this segment and the next, but I'm going to be going to your calls here in just a few minutes. This is going to be fast-moving. We're going to go to Phil and others here in just a moment, Rusty, Cindy, and many others. The toll-free number to join us, because after he leaves us, we'll be taking calls, 877-789-2539, 877-789-2539. Roger Stone has the top story there on the left-hand side of drudgereport.com. And the question he asked is, who is the real Ted Cruz? There's another story up on Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, and on Drudge. Mitt Romney won't rule out accepting GOP nomination at contested convention. And we just played John Kasich, the Ohio governor, where we have major evidence of election fraud and early voting and absentee ballots right now. We reported on that last week, saying he will win and that they will broker the convention in his home state. And he plans to take it from Trump, even if Trump has 1,000 delegates. And Kasich has 5. He will be our president. So incredible mainlining psychological inoculation to condition us to accept this. So getting into election fraud, getting into the attacks, getting into who Ted Cruz really is Roger Stone joining us via the phone, consummate Trump insider, former head of his campaign and Trump confidant. Roger, thanks for coming on 3 or 4 days a week. Things are so fast moving, and I couldn't think of a better expert to get on. Where do you want to start first?
Well, I've never really seen anything like this in almost 40 years in American politics, working in 9 presidential campaigns. Alan, first of all, the place to start, I guess, is the incredible onslaught of anti-Trump television ads now completely saturating the airwaves in Florida, in Ohio, and nationally. I'm able to report to you, last week reported $75 million gathered by the Koch brothers, not their own money, very clever.
And your phone cut out for a moment on the Koch brothers. Start back over. What had been gathered? You first broke that. Drudge ran it. Went viral. You've been proven right.
Yes, but it is now. There's developments here. Their pot is up from $75 million to $145 million. So there are now additional.
Whoa! $145 million to crush Trump
in a national television advertisement. I must tell you, Alex, here in Florida, you cannot turn on the television, the cable, the radio without getting a vicious anti-Trump commercial. I've never seen anything like it. You have Rubio and Cruz working together in Puerto Rico, squeezing Trump out. Cruz purposely draining votes from Trump so that Rubio took all 23 delegates there today. It's an overall example of what's happening here. The establishment is playing a multi-handed game. On the one hand, they're using Ted Cruz to block Trump, giving him some faint hope that he could emerge as the candidate, that they'd rather be with him, given his Goldman Sachs connections, his establishment roots, than Trump. You also have massive reports of voter fraud, not just in Texas, which, as you know, are very well publicized in the mainstream media, Travis County, Dallas County, and 6 other counties, but now additional evidence of fraud in Kansas, in Oklahoma. We set up an 800 number. The phone lines are burning up. People are sending us videos, and it is virtually the same. It appears to be a steal in those states away from Trump, awarding votes that he did not win to either Marco Rubio, which was the case in Texas, where I suspect Karl Rove is in the House, and Ted Cruz. You have the sad fact, though, that even the establishment knows Ted Cruz can't get to 1,237 delegates on the. So
they're just ballot. Scuttling it so Hillary wins, or are they planning? Because Kasich seems very confident. He says he's going to get it and just take it when the convention happens in his home state.
Well, as you know, the establishment doesn't always speak with one voice. They have their own internal competition. The Kennedys and the Rockefellers both wanted to be president. They still both went to the Bilderberger meetings and sat at the CFR.
Exactly.
And you have the same thing here. Kasich wants it. Romney wants it. Marco Rubio wants it, but Marco Rubio has got to show some legs in Florida or he's done. That's why Romney hasn't endorsed him. Romney doesn't wish success on Marco other than as a pawn for the establishment. This is the exact Barry Goldwater playbook. This is exactly what they tried to do in the Stop Goldwater movement. And yes, Alex, you hit it on the head. If they can't have it themselves, it's rule or ruin. If Trump is going to be the nominee, they will scuttle his nomination in a general election.
They are complete traitors. Don't they endanger forever destroying the Republican Party with a move like that?
Yes, but they don't care because, as we know, they're all globalists. And globalist Hillary Clinton is preferable to them to nationalist Donald Trump, particularly a Donald Trump who can't be swayed by their money and their contributions.
Well, 2 weeks ago, you were here in studio, and you said, last night they met, $75 million. It came out later. They're going to run his campaign. Came out 3 days later. They're going to do all this in Florida. It's now happened. They lined up all the donors. I mean, here you are, 40 years of this. You've never seen anything like it. Why are they so scared of Trump? Is Gingrich right? The quote, because he's never been in the secret society. He's not part of the club. What do you think of Gingrich's cryptic statement on that front?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened. I think that they are petrified that he doesn't share their anti-American, or I should say anti-American sovereignty views. Look, watch for this. This is coming next. Jeb Bush has $25 to $30 million left of that Wall Street money in his super PAC. Look for him to shift that money behind the anti-Trump drive. I'm told that Barbara Bush herself is calling party leaders saying Trump must be stopped and that the Romney, Kasich, Rubio people need to speak among themselves. And it's very clear to me, for example, that you saw in the primaries this weekend, Trump lost Maine, he lost Kansas, both places with a much more narrow electorate where Ted Cruz simply out-organized him. But Trump was able to romp in Louisiana and Kentucky, however, by much smaller margins than the polls showed a week ago. Late-breaking voters in the Super Tuesday primary and the most recent primaries and sophisticated polling show the undecideds breaking late against Trump, which means...
That means the targeted brainwashing is starting to work.
That is exactly right. So now the question is really, the focus is really on Trump and his campaign. I do have a special report for you, and that is will warm the cockles of your heart. As you know, in his press conference in Palm Beach, Trump said that among those he would look to for foreign policy advice was Richard Haas. This is the same Richard Haas who gave a speech just before Putin moved into Crimea saying we didn't need to worry about the Soviets. They were just a global power. Spoken to this morning by an intimate of mine at his synagogue in New York, Haas said that he would never survey President Trump, and he considered Trump a joke. So it is very clear that this attempt to get Trump to swallow Haas as an advisor was something someone put in his mind. Haas has no interest, and I would hope Trump will figure out that Haas is a globalist, is a neocon.
Well, let's go further. It's clear. They approach him. He meets with them out of respect. They leak it knowing they're hated to hurt him. They're listening to me. The only way to destroy Trump is for them to endorse him.
Well, and Haas met privately with Trump, and now it's the Romney-style betrayal.
Well, you were right. I'm not trying to kiss your rump here. It's totally true. You have called everything in royal flush spades. You said Romney was getting ready. And I know I believe you, but I thought, man, you're off the reservation. A week and a half later, he does it. He now tells the Washington Times, and in a speech, he says, I may take a broker convention. If people want me, I'm going to be president. I'll take the nomination. Everything you said has come true. You were told that by sources, or did you just divine that?
Sources. I mean, Alex, I spent 9 years in this business. I have friends working in every one of these campaigns. In politics, people talk. I have an underground of sources in every one of these campaigns. I know people, I'm friends with people, globalists, who are working for Romney.
No, I understand. You called it, StoneZone.com. Stay there, Roger. Roger, stay there. I want to come back with you. If you'll even stay longer, too, we'll take these callers so they can talk to you. But this is so important because the establishment is in a panic, cardiac arrest over Trump. They're pulling out the stops. And you heard it. It appears that they're finally starting to slow him. They're slowing his rise. They're cutting off his numbers. But you heard him. 40 years in politics, 9 campaigns, worked in 4 administrations inside of them, highest levels. He's never seen anything like it. The New York Times, claims, oh, Trump met with us and said it's all rhetoric. Well, if that was the case, they wouldn't be going after him. Because, Clinton and Bush and people told the papers it's all rhetoric, and they believed it. They hate Trump for some reason, and they are scared to death right now. Roger, what are the other big issues here? It's just so incredible to see Romney saying, hey, we'll have a broker convention, to see Kasich saying it, to see them mainlining it. Kasich said, we're not men in smoky rooms. We're going to be legitimate, and no matter what Trump does, we're going to take it from him. That is total 1984 double-speak bizarro land. We're going to steal it, but we're going to do it right. They are out of control. This is just, for me, a referendum against the elite now, but what really scared me was you said the numbers show, and that's what I, as a layman studying this, saw. His wins weren't as big as they were. Places he might have won by small margins, he lost. That tells me what we saw in Texas and other states is they are shaving points. They are cheating Trump to make it look legitimate at a broker convention. Tell us what you really think is going on, Roger Stone.
Yeah, the good news here, of course, is this fight is far from over. As you know, I'm working with the Trump Ballot Security Project. We've set up, as I told you, a toll-free number where we're getting reports. Recognize that if we can find enough documentation of vote stealing, then we can challenge the Cruz delegates in the Credentials Committee at the convention. We can move to unseat stolen delegates in Texas, Kansas, Kentucky, and other states. This fight is far from over. I'm working with many veterans of the Ron Paul operation and others. So I'm going back to Reagan to put together a strategy to stop the steal. For those who want to support our efforts, or if anybody knows of voter fraud or irregularities, you can go to stopthesteal.org, and you can help us. You can contact us. You can send us videotapes. You can send us photos. And, of course, you can make a contribution. We are doing really what the Trump campaign doesn't seem to be doing in this case. We hope to have poll watchers, trained poll watchers, in every site in Florida. Believe me, I know Florida intimately, having been involved in the recount. If we don't do this, they will steal the state from Marco Rubio. So this is prophylactic, as well as looking at some of the big voter irregularities that we've already seen. This is Armageddon. This is the fight, and we need folks to get down in there. Trump, I think, has to articulate in more specific terms his agenda. He has to romp in Ohio and Florida. If he does that, I think it'll be very hard to steal this. If he wins one of two, he's still in a fight for his life, but it's a fight he can win. If he loses both, we are headed to a brokered convention in which they will try to steal it from.
Will it help having listeners put pressure on neocon talk show hosts, the media, the government, that we're not going to put up with this being stolen? We know what's happening. Would it help, or would it be seen as sour grapes to have Trump come out once there's news reports and say, look, they're shaving votes for a broker convention. Romney and Kasich admit they want to steal and ignore your popular vote. He has them on tape. Shouldn't he produce ads that are just internet only so everybody can run them, showing that they admit they're stealing it?
Look, there's many things I think the Trump campaign should be doing. But at this juncture, he's come a long way, and this is within his grasp. And the panic level of those who would steal it from him has reached levels of hysteria. We had his rallies being compared to Nuremberg rallies.
Glenn Beck is on TV saying he's Hitler. When it's just amazing. What do you think about Glenn Beck saying he wants to stab Donald Trump?
There's no different than this political consultant out of Tallahassee, this fellow Wilson, saying he wants to pull a bullet in Trump. He's an honored commentator on CNN. He goes on to accuse my friend Ann Coulter of having anal sex with Donald Trump for her support.
Yeah, the New York Times says kill Trump. I mean, I don't want to kill anybody, but if I talk like that, I get arrested, and I should. Why are they allowed to have calls to action to violence?
Because they are the insiders. This is elite deviants. As you know, folks like the Bushes and the Romneys and others break the law with impunity. They're so connected, so wired. And at the end of the day, they are all in the same tent, as we have said time and time again. The establishment, if they can't voice Romney upon us, or Kasich, and I think at this point those are the two options. This is an intramural power struggle within the insider clique. They're not all united behind one ambition.
So this is an elite civil war. Trump has triggered an elite civil war.
Well, everybody sees an opportunity to be the savior of the establishment wing, so that the lobbyists and the insiders can gorge on our tax money for another 4 or 8 years.
What's coming next? Rubio and Cruz, and now, of course, Romney say that the media is shitting on bombshells about Trump. What are those supposed bombshells? That what, he's not a pedophile, he's into women, so he's bad. I mean, what's the big bombshell?
Look, I don't think they have any bombshells. We've seen the best shot they've got. If I see one more television commercial talking about Trump University, I'm going to vomit. This is very simple. It was a real estate course. 98% of the people who took it were happy, were satisfied. Most of them went on to make money. A few disgruntled people.
I know. I've given $10 bills to homeless. I'm giving $10 bills to homeless, and they bitch it's not a 20.
Right, exactly. So that's what you have. This is a nothing issue. Trump's exactly right. When this goes to court in a civil case, he will triumph. He will win. It's all bogus. And as I said on this show, the New York Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman, actually went to Trump and his daughter and said, I have this case, Trump University, you've got some complaints. I can make this all go away. I wouldn't worry about it. How many tickets are you buying to my next fundraiser? And when they refused to buy, he brought this case. That is a fact.
Unbelievable. No, he said that on TV. I mean, Trump wouldn't say that unless it was true. He gets his butt suit off. I tell you, it's incredible. We only got 2 minutes left. I want to ask Roger Stone, again, the consummate Trump insider. This is obviously an epic moment, edge of our seats. Americans are saying in polls it's the wildest election ever. I only expect it to get more crazy.
Well, look, I've just been handed a report that we now have over 217 people, witnesses, who say they saw Cruz voters voting more than once in Kansas. So, as the piece you've just posted says, Tricky Ted, people who are liberty-minded conservatives need to understand. He is of the Bushes. He was George W. Bush's chief issue advisor. Donald Trump is wrong. He didn't just push John Roberts. He recruited him for the Bush administration. His wife, Heidi, top deputy to Condoleezza Rice, deputy national security advisor when we rushed to the Iraq war. Then she went over to the U.S. Trade Representative office, working as a deputy to Robert Zellick, whose name should be Zelig, because whether it's Carter or Bush or Obama, this guy stays in office. He's part of the permanent government. Where Heidi gave
Some people say Zellick is the architect of 9/11.
There are many people who believe that, and I think it's entirely possible. Look, I'm unfamiliar with his role with 9/11, but I put nothing past the establishment. At a minimum, I know that there's Saudi influence there.
They ordered to stand down there, Mom.
That has been hidden from us. So the point here is watch Michigan. Trump's lead there in the polls down to 5. Kasich may bump Romney there. He needs to win there and Ohio to breathe life in his chance to be the candidate of the Kingmakers.
All right. Roger Stone, thank you. We'll talk to you more this week with the weekday show, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central. Thank you so much, StoneZone.com. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Alex, victory or death?
Yeah, victory or death, liberty or death. My fellow InfoWarriors, I am very excited to be able to announce to you the introduction at InfoWarsLife.com of a new way to save time and money when you stock up on InfoWars Life formulations like Survival Shield X2 and Super Male Vitality. Just go to InfoWarsLife.com today, select your favorite product, click on Auto Ship before adding to cart, and choose how often you want us to send you another order. Every time you choose Auto Ship at InfoWarsLife.com, you get 10% off, and you won't have to worry about running out and having to reorder next time. And of course, you can cancel with one click anytime. As you know, I'm all about the idea of a 360 win, and the new auto ship feature at InfoWarsLife.com is a sure win for everybody. A win for liberty, a win for health, and a win when it comes to big savings. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today and save 10% on your next InfoWars Life order by selecting auto ship at checkout. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.